And it is time. We are live. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to HackSmarter Live with me, yours truly. Whether you are watching this on Twitch or LinkedIn or my YouTube page, yo, it is so awesome to have you taking the time to hang out with me, even if you're just stopping by. I know someone over in YouTube chat said, hey, new to this, joining out of curiosity. That is awesome. It is really good to have you here. That is how you get into ethical hacking, is you're curious and you ask a bunch of questions. So whether you are brand new to this, or you just stumbled across the stream and you don't know what's going on, but you're here for some reason, or you are learning yourself, I just want to say a special welcome to all of you. Now, this is my second time doing multi-platform streaming, only using OBS. So I know there's software that does this, but to stream in full HD with that software, it costs nearly $50 a month. I figured out how to do it for free with OBS, but the only downside is I can't monitor all the chat in one place. So I have YouTube chat over here. I have Twitch chat on the screen if they talk on Twitch. Let me make sure that's working. And I have a LinkedIn chat on this screen. So I have three different chats I am monitoring. So if I can just ask you guys, first of all, YouTube, Twitch, LinkedIn, can you guys let me know in each one of those platforms if everything sounds good, if everything looks good? If not, holler at me. I'll do my best to fix it. I am a one-man production streaming team. I'm doing the production, doing the audio, doing the video, and doing the talking, and doing the hacking. So it's a lot of multitasking when I am multi-streaming. We good? Okay, cool. Awesome. Well, let's go ahead and dive into things without any further ado. I want to go to the place where everyone else is. Well, this is the place. This is the place, my friend. Unfortunately, with streaming, it isn't like you can't talk back. It's just me talking, but I will do my best to keep my eyes on the chat. If you guys have questions as we work through this, feel free to interrupt me. And if you're new to my stream, here's how I approach things. We are going to dive into a random HackTheBox retired machine because I'm not allowed to live stream active content, but we will dive into a random HackTheBox retired machine and we'll work through it live. So when I stream, I do not prep these machines ahead of time. I haven't even looked at them. This is me struggling through it, getting frustrated, getting stuck, and just seeing if we can figure this out together. So that is the plan, is to do this on the spot. But I'll also just say, if you have questions about careers or pen testing or cybersecurity as we go, feel free to sound them off in the chat. I'll do my best to answer any questions you might have. But here we go. We are going to do HackTheBox. Each stream, try Hack Me or HackTheBox. I've been feeling HackTheBox lately. I do just want to say, guys, super excited I can finally announce this. I am one of the official people for the Try Hack Me Advent of Cyber event. So keep your eyes tuned for that. If you saw it on LinkedIn, you may have saw my name. I've been trying to get on Advent of Cyber for like 3 years, ever since I started streaming, and I finally made it. And this time, I didn't even ask them. They reached out and asked me. So I'm honored to be one of those people. But in addition to the day that I'm doing the official walkthrough, my plan is a live stream every single day as we work our way through Advent of Cyber. So make sure you come back here for Advent of Cyber. I'll try to stream through there. YouTube is good, maybe a little quiet. Okay, I'm going to see if I can fix that. Stand by. Let me know if that's any better. If I turn it up any more, I think it's going to clip out. But I turned up my preamp just a tiny bit. But okay, let's go ahead and do this. If we go, I mean, there's a few things. Maybe if you guys have never been on HackTheBox, let me just introduce you to a few things that I think are cool that I only discovered after I was on the platform for a while. There's challenges and there's tracks. And look, I can't stream this stuff. But there's Sherlock's now, guys. I was just working through Meerkat. You can see I'm 45%. I cannot stream this because there's no retired things. But Sherlock's is a brand new aspect of HackTheBox that are blue team challenges. So it's investigation. This first one is a PCAP, and you have to analyze what was going on. And here's the crazy thing, guys. Spoiler alert, but you'll see this right away if you do Meerkat. When you do Meerkat and you look at the CVE that they're using, it was created by Rhino Security Labs. Like, it was wild. I work with the guy who published the CVE that Meerkat is based on, which is just awesome. I tagged him in and said, dude, HackTheBox is using your exploit for the very first Sherlock machine. So I thought that was cool. But make sure you check those out. When they switch over to retired, I'll give my shot at those, but to be honest, I'm not that great at blue team stuff. I spend my time doing pen testing. And then we have tracks. This is the other cool thing about HackTheBox. This would be similar to Try Hack Me. Try Hack Me has different learning tracks as well, but these aren't like learning tracks like Academy. These are more like a series of challenges. So you have like the Crest CRT. I don't think they have, I don't know why it's not opening. Maybe I have to actually click it. These are probably all really good machines. We could probably just dive into some of these if we wanted to. But we'll just go to retired machines and check them out. But just wanted to show some of this to you guys. The other thing that is cool is challenges. Now, challenges are like smaller labs as you look at this. And one thing that I've been trying to learn is mobile app pen testing. You can see I solved at least one of these challenges. Actually, at work, I'm doing my first mobile app pen test right now. I'm testing both an iOS and an Android app. Really fun, really cool time. But this blew me away when I realized there was an entire track of mobile challenges on HackTheBox, both active and retired. Cool stuff. I don't know if you guys are pumped about it, but I am. Let me go over to machines. We'll skip the tutorial. Let me look over the chat because I know you guys are asking some questions over here. So let me walk through some of the YouTube chat. Vong Lo said, quick question as a noob. Should I start off with try hack me or HackTheBox? Good question. I might even clip this out for a regular YouTube video. So what should you start with if you're brand new to cyber, brand new to ethical hacking? Try hack me or HackTheBox. When I say HackTheBox, it's kind of confusing. There's two different actually three HackTheBox platforms. I wouldn't encourage you to dive into HackTheBox, like this platform that we're on now. They do have a beginner path that is like very easy machines that will walk you through it. But you could start an Academy on HackTheBox. Academy is more like guided learning, but still pretty difficult. So even with that, I would say try Hack Me first. But once again, I don't think there's a right answer or a wrong answer. Try Hack Me is a lot more noob and user friendly. And I also have a bunch of content from Try Hack Me if you go to my YouTube page and check it out there, which I know you're on my YouTube page. I would start with Try Hack Me. And then once you're comfortable with Try Hack Me, I would maybe go into the HackTheBox easy machines, do some Try Hack Me CTFs. Both really are good. And there's always that debate. What's better, HackTheBox or Try Hack Me? I don't know, dude. I think they're both really good platforms. I have subscriptions to both platforms and use them regularly. So check them both out. But for a brand new beginner, Try Hack Me may be a good place to start. Let's see. Guy said, finally I can join as I'm stuck in the USA. War in Israel. Oh, crazy, dude. Well, I'm glad you can be here, but yeah, what's going on over there is heartbreaking. What is your tips for beginners in HackTheBox, not the Academy? Do the super easy track, starting point, right? So if you're new to HackTheBox in general, do these. I'll be honest, I haven't done these, but though from what I can see, they're really good starting points because they give you tasks. So it's kind of like that guided mode as you work your way through that, guiding you through kind of the ethical hacking process. Okay, cool. If there's any other questions, feel free to let me know. I'm looking over at Twitch. Everything sounds good. Okay, cool. Reckless said, what's topic or is it a surprise? It's a surprise. I don't even know what topic. We're just going to pick a random machine I haven't done and see what we can do. Okay, I think I'm caught up on all the chat. Fantastic. Let's go back over to machines. Actually, I already have machines open. Here are machines. Let's look at retired machines, and let's go ahead and sort this by... We do rating, maybe. Can I sort by rating and release date? Does it allow me to sort by two categories? Nope. Okay. I want a high-rated one. Probably not hard, though. Let's do easy and medium. Okay. I guess I can't choose two difficulties. Okay. I've done a lot of these good games. Apparently, I got sick of it, didn't do. Done these, done these. This is a free one. Can I sort by free? Because if it's free, you guys could join me. I don't know if I can sort by free. If anyone knows how, let me know. Otherwise, we'll just pick, oh, here's a free one. I did that one. Let me just look through this list, see if there's any free ones that I haven't done. Because I know then those of you without a HackTheBox subscription can join. But I'm usually quite limited on retired machines. Cyber said, is CyberLens still in limbo with THM? CyberLens is, I need to fix some things on CyberLens, but Hack Smarter, my other CTF, has been officially approved. It will be coming out in February or March as an official Try Hack Me CTF. Looking forward to it. CyberLens should as well. I just need to fix some things on the CyberLens machine without giving away spoilers. I can't say too much else. Okay. So when it comes to HackTheBox, guys, what I always look at is the user rated difficulty. So you can see over here it's rated as easy. HackTheBox's definition of easy and my definition of easy are radically different. All right, easy HackTheBox machines are actually can be quite hard. I mean, so if you look at these, like this is probably a good rating for nunchucks as easy, but you can see Forest is rated the same. Forest is an AD one, but most users rate it as medium. So I'm usually looking at like, hey, what's the user rating of these? And I like to get ones like 2 million. I've already done that one, but you can see that that's a good easy one. We have easy and not too easy. That's usually what I'm looking for. Validation, people rate it easy, not too easy, medium. I have not done validation. Looks like a fun one to do. So let's open up validation. And do we have adventure mode? We do. And do we have guided mode? Beautiful. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. The way that we are going to approach this machine is a Linux machine, 4.6 rating, so it's probably a pretty solid machine. We're going to try on our own in adventure mode. Adventure mode is there's no hints. We just need to get the user flag and the root flag. All enumeration, all research is up to us. If, or maybe I should say, when we get stuck, we'll switch over to guided mode. Guided mode makes it more like a try hack me machine where it gives you some hints to help you along the process. Then if we get stuck at guided mode, we will look at the walkthrough, but only until we're no longer stuck, and then we'll jump back to that. So that's kind of my process. Getting stuck is fine, guys. I still get stuck on machines all the time. You don't need to feel bad. You only feel bad if you don't learn anything. So our goal is to learn. Our goal is not to like appear to be super elite hackers. Our goal is just to learn something through the process. I am on a new VM, so I'm going to have to download the VPN. And we are going to give Parrot OS another shot. I tried to give Parrot OS a shot last time, but it was broken, but I think it was due to me. I don't honestly know what I did to it. So this is a new instance of Parrot OS. I updated it. We should be good to go. I fixed some things with Terminal as well. So we'll rename this tab our VPN. And we'll do sudo open VPN lab. Type in our password. And it looks like we are good to go. We are connected. And what I like to do is we'll just start kind of a notepad as we work our way through this. And we'll say, hey, this is our IP, so I can glance at it quick if I need to. And we will start doing some basic scans and we'll get our notes and everything ready to go. We'll just call this nmap full. Keep my eye on the chat. Okay. JS said, what channel are you watching in Discord for the stream? I'm not watching any channel because I can't keep up with all the chat. So I'm only watching YouTube, Twitch, and LinkedIn chat. What up, Overgrown Carrot? Just saw Overgrown Carrot over in the chat. Good to have you here, my friends. If you guys have never heard of Overgrown Carrot, check him out on YouTube and Twitch. And he has a Discord working through some really cool AD machines. At least that's what I was watching on YouTube. Good to have you here, my friend. All right, let's start with nmap. Let's actually grab this IP first. Make sure we can ping it, which I can't ping it, so that's not a good sign. Did my VPN not actually connect? It's not a Windows machine, so I don't think it's anything blocking me. I might end up having to jump to Kali again. Oh, there we go. Just took a second to come online. All right, we got it. Let's do sudo. I think it's Plume on here. We'll do nano etc host. I already forgot what this machine was called. What did they call it? Validation. All right, we'll call it validation.hackthebox. There we go. And I don't have to remember the IP. We'll nmap, scan all ports on validation.hackthebox. T5 to make it go a little bit faster, and -V for verbose mode. And what we're going to do now is we're just going to do no enumeration. I just want to see, hey, what ports are open? And once we know the open ports, we will dive into it and check out what might be running on these. Now, the nice thing about HackTheBox that I've noticed is it's usually a lot more realistic than some other platforms, and there's not a whole bunch of rabbit holes that you can fall into. So generally, these are probably the only ports that are open. There's probably not some strange CTF port open, but you never know. So we will let that run. But while nmap full runs, let's go ahead and do another one. We'll just call this one terminal, and we're going to nmap those specific ports. So 22, 80 and 8080. I believe that's all it is, right? So we have SSH, HTTP, and an alternative HTTP. So probably 2 web servers and SSH, but we'll do -A. This is like, hey, throw all the enumeration scripts at it. Let's see what might be running on here. Validation.HackTheBox -V for verbose mode. While it does that, let's get our notes pulled up, and we will go ahead and do another page. There we go. Validation, HackTheBox, looking over at chat. What's all going on, everybody? Do video on Hack Smarter. Cool. Yeah, I'm excited for you to do that. Can you adjust your volume, make it higher because mine is low? I am sorry, I don't think I can. Let me try one more time, but I don't want it to clip out. So you may have to like try to turn it up. 1 second. Okay, this is the best I can do, but hey guys, if it's clipping out, if it sounds bad, like it's too loud, and it like gets that clip, I don't know if that makes sense if you don't do audio, but just let me know if it sounds off now, if it's too loud while I'm talking. What do I use for note-taking software? For note-taking software, I used to use OneNote, and that's what you're seeing here on my work machine. Like what I actually use for pen testing, I am using full Ubuntu now. It works a lot better for mobile app pen testing. And because I'm in Ubuntu, there is no OneNote client for Linux. There's some like weird workarounds, but they don't work the best. So I've been using Cherry Tree, and actually really enjoy Cherry Tree lately, but still use OneNote on my personal computer. I think Twitch said, why am I trying out Parrot OS? Because just for fun. I have no other reason. I like to try out random distros. So Kali's cool, Parrot's cool. I was reading about Predator OS. Like, I really just like to bounce around and see, like, what are these other distros like? They're all very similar, but it's fun to change out the appearance. And personally, like, look, I just like the way Parrot looks, the way it's designed. But I don't think one is really better than the other. Kali is obviously the king, probably more support, easier to troubleshoot because more people use it. But if Parrot doesn't work, we'll switch back over to Kali. If Kali doesn't work, we'll go to, like, the Pwnbox or something. All right, here is how I do notes. So we'll go ahead and grab this. We'll pull up OneNote here. And on my main validation page, I like to just put in, hey, here's all the results that are pulled up. There's that. And we'll go ahead and grab this, and I make a separate page for each service that is open. And I think if it's just Control-N. The tough thing about switching between Cherry Tree and this is there's different hotkeys. So I'm always trying to do like Cherry Tree hotkeys because that's what I'm in all day. But I can't do those here because it's of course not Cherry Tree. And then as we enumerate each one of these services to keep our notes clear, I will keep all of our enumeration on their own little subpage here. If we make these subpages under validation, just to keep everything sorted for us. Another HTTP. There we go. In before port 777 web server for real. Overgrown Carrot says, I've tried Parrot a couple times. I just like how Kali's pre-built with ZSH. Yeah, so I actually, I agree. Okay, so yeah, Terminator, partitioning one tab. So I know a lot of the cool hackers do that. I just don't like doing that. Like I know IPsec, Overgrown Carrot even, like you have all these like 4 different tabs. I don't like it. I also don't like my internet browser having like more than like 3 tabs. It drives my brain crazy. So even when I do this, this is how I like to do it. Not that this is the right way to do it, because I'm like the only one who doesn't do all the tabs around my screen. For some reason, my brain just doesn't work. I get overwhelmed. Not even joking when I do that. Let's look at mmap full. Oh, we have one more port here. So let's go ahead and hit this port. Oh, let's do -A. We'll hit that one as well. Yeah, I'd probably like Terminator if I would just take the time to do it, but I don't know, guys. It overwhelms me. all those tabs and you guys are jumping between them with your elite keyboard skills. I'm not as elite as you guys, unfortunately. So it looks like we have HTTP again. I don't remember what the port was. I'm guessing whatever is on port 80 is also on this port. With Nginx or Nginx, if you really want to say it that way. That's what I was saying on last stream, just to see who I drove crazy. All right, guys, let's go ahead and start making our checklist. So the way I like to do this is I like to make a checklist as I approach each port, because it helps you not fall into rabbit holes. And when you are in a rabbit hole, you can look back and say, hey, what on my checklist have I not done? So we have SSH here. When it comes to SSH, there's really not a whole lot to check. If/when we have creds, check this. Or if we get a shell, try to upload our public key to their authorized keys file so we can SSH as them. So that's my extent of using SSH. Not a whole lot of enumeration. Technically, you might be able to username enumeration and stuff through SSH, but it's not going to be likely. HTTP, this is probably going to be our way in. It's either this or one of the other ones, which is obvious because the only other port is SSH. And for HTTP, here is going to be our to-do list before we even start doing it. We'll use GoBuster to check for directories. We'll use GoBuster to check for vhosts. We'll use Nikto to do a basic web vulnerability scan. We will browse the website. We can check things like robots.txt, although there's probably not going to be anything there that's very CTF-y, and HackTheBox usually isn't too CTF-y. So we have robots.txt. What am I missing? Well, honestly, that's a good place to start. So let me go ahead and jump over here. You can see, hey, all of our stuff is done, so we know we're not missing anything. And let's start with GoBuster. Okay, cool. It is in Parrot by default. I don't think it's in Kali by default. I could be wrong. I don't remember if I installed it to Kali or if it was already there. With GoBuster, we will do -u for our URL. Actually, dir first, I believe, right? Yeah. dir, and then we'll do -u for our URL. Validation.HackTheBox, -w for our word list. Don't know what default word list we have. Oh, cool. We have dirbuster, so we can do directory list 2.3 medium, like that. Rename that tab GoBuster dir. We'll do this GoBuster vhost, a very similar syntax. We'll do GoBuster vhost u validation.HackTheBox w user share word list dirbuster. We'll just do directory list as well. Technically, if we're doing this right, we would use seclist and use discovery and DNS, but this will work fine. We got that. And then let's go ahead and kick off Nikto as well. Nikto-h, if my memory serves me correct, validation.HackTheBox. There we go. That's a false positive. And then what we'll do is we'll start enumerating this main port 80, and then we'll probably do a very similar scan on some of those other ports. But let's just keep it simple, because I told you guys I get confused easily and lost in details easily, especially when I'm live streaming. So I got to keep it simple for myself. Let's get Kato open. Did I install Kato? Okay, I did. Beautiful. We'll get Kato open. Let's go ahead and create a project, and we'll call this validation.HackTheBox. Turn on intercept, get Firefox open. We'll exit out of HackTheBox there. And what do we just have here? Okay, so we have joined the UHC September qualifiers, and I like to take notes on things as I see them. So let's go over here and just document, hey, here is what is at the root index. Let's go like this and drop that in there. Interesting stuff, but before we even dig into this, I'm guessing we're gonna register and do some elite hacking stuff. Let's view source. Is there anything interesting in the source? Any scripts that might be running? So very basic. We have a post request that's going to take username, and then we can specify our country. So we have two inputs here. Maybe username, maybe country, maybe it's vulnerable to SQL injection or no SQL injection. Maybe it's vulnerable to server-side template injection. We'll test some of that stuff. Nothing else there, so nothing really hidden there. Nothing on robots.txt. I will just say, if this is a real pen test report, we would point this out to the client. This would be a low or an informational finding, and we would say, hey, there's version enumeration. You don't want to return this to the client, because then if you have an outdated version, attackers can research it, figure out what CVEs I might be vulnerable to. And so we always tell clients, don't return this in the response. So once again, real pen test, this is a finding, and we would report this to a client and let them know you don't want to be returning server version in HTTP header responses. Okay, so we have this. Let's go ahead and turn on Foxy Proxy, turn on Cato, turn on this, hack smarter, and we'll be, we got United States in here, represent. Okay, if we drop this over to replay, what is it doing? Okay, interesting. So when we set up an account, it's setting a user cookie here. Okay, let's grab that as a screenshot and just think about it. And I actually want to take some notes up here as well. What would a dev need to return? Reckless said. A custom 404, just take the version out. Usually just take the version out. Apache, if you just Google it, Apache has in their docs how to do that. Every Nginx has it. It all depends on what you're working with. When I'm doing a pen test, I'll usually find the documentation for that, and then for the remediation, I'll just say, hey, if you want to remediate this, see the link that I included in the See More section on how to remove version headers in the responses. And honestly, don't see it a whole lot. I'd say, like doing web apps, maybe 25 or 30% of the web apps I do, I'll see that and let it know to the client. It would be kind of annoying to write up all the low impact vulns, Hunterbot says. It is kind of annoying, but that is the difference between like pen testing and bug bounty. A bug bounty, you're just looking after those high targets. A pen test is a lot more holistic. So clients want you to tell them the informationals and the lows that might be chained together by an attacker. So we're always reporting all those things. Of course, we're reporting mediums and highs as well. And then if there's a critical, we'll do early disclosures saying, hey, you should fix this now. And I usually get, early disclosures, once again, pretty often. Like we see some cool stuff in the real world. But once again, pen testing, much more holistic. We are giving them a big overview of their security posture, not just bug bounty or RCE type stuff. So we have this. So a few things I want to check on here before we continue. SQL injection might be vulnerable. No SQL injection. Server-side template injection, although I don't think it's going to be that because it's not returning any input to us that I can see. We could even, like, if this is a real thing, we would test cross-site scripting, but that's not going to be the way forward on this machine unless they have like user input being simulated by a bot, which I doubt it. Now we have account registration here. So this, of course, goes with this because we can see the username and the country. So when we fuzz this, really we're fuzzing this. But what stands out to me is when you register an account, the application is returning a cookie with user in it. With that in mind, how is this cookie tied to our user? Is it coded in some way? Can I create my own cookies? Those would be some of my initial thoughts on that. It doesn't look like it's like base 64 encoded, but it might be something interesting going on there. So we'll want to check into that as we dig into this. So let's pause here and check out if our scans have found anything as well. Nicto, we have a config.php, really? And this is why good notes are important. Like now that I wrote all that down, I don't have to worry that I'm going to forget about it, right? I can go and kind of play around with some other stuff, chase anything that's interesting, and we'll come back to those notes. I guess there is a config.php, but it's not returning any information, so it must just be server side. If we look at GoBuster vhost, these are all false positives, so it must not be a vhost. I'm just going to stop this scan. And we'll just call this terminal. And actually just rename this Kato just so it looks a little nicer. And because we're not going to mess with that, we'll pull it over there. Our GoBuster dir has only found CSS and JS. There's a chance that maybe there's directory listing on those folders. That is something we would report to a client. I doubt it. Yep, we don't have permission. Every once in a while you'll do this and you'll see a full directory listing, and that once again is a lull or maybe higher, depending on what you can see in that directory listing that we would let a client know about. All right, back to validation.hackthebox. This is all we have to work with from what I can see. So if we go to replay here, do I get a different user cookie each time? No. Okay, if I add a 1 to my name, so then it changes it. So this cookie must be tied completely to my user. How much changes? So if I add a 2, if I just do very quick compare, grab this cookie. Yeah, bruh, copy. I don't know what you complaining about, homie. Does YouTube and Twitch chat overlap? It does not. I'm the only one who can see all the chat. But I'm doing my best to keep my eye on the chat. The only chat that shows up on the screen is Twitch. So if you want your message to be on my screen, you got to be on Twitch. They're the OGs. That's where I started all this streaming stuff. It almost looks like it's hashing it like MD5 or something. Is this built into Parrot? I think hash identifier, isn't that like a Python script? We can just, if I knew how to type. MD5, I was right. Look at that, guys. It is an MD5 hash, so it's probably hashing that. And if there's no, we'll see if we can figure out how it's hashing it. HunterBot said, "Oh, Kato, do you prefer it over burp?" Not yet. I don't prefer it over burp. The reason I use Kato when I live stream, though, is I feel it's more accessible to people. Because with Kato, you can do like automate, which would be equivalent to Burp Suite's Intruder. But Burp Suite's Intruder isn't really useful in the community free edition because it's so rate limited. Kato, even the free version of Kato, nothing is rate limited. So you can do so-called intruder attacks, but with no rate limiting in place. So I just feel like it's a little more accessible to others. At my job, I use Burp Suite Pro. Burp Suite Pro is still king, has way more extensions, way more features for now. And I used to use Burp Suite Pro when I stream, but I realized like a lot of people didn't have access to Burp Suite Pro and they couldn't actually replicate what I was doing. But when I use Kato, if I can do it in Kato, that means you can also do it if you have Kato. And I also like the way Kato looks. It just looks pretty. It looks like simple in my mind. So we have MD5, and let's go ahead and put that in the notes. I kind of assumed that was MD5. So if we do like, well, okay, got it. Google Chrome. What's that do? Okay, so it's not the same as that, I don't think. Oh, shoot, it is. My cookie, you guys see that? The cookie is literally just the username hashed. So if I do like administrator, that would be the admin hash. I don't know if it's going to be administrator or admin. So we might be able to take over like an admin account, knowing that it's just MD5 generated. So now let's follow the login flow. If we go back to validation, I don't think I even saw what happened. Hack smarter. Well, what if I do admin? Welcome, admin. So maybe there's no actual account stuff like. Ah, look at that. So this is something we would report to a client. Actually would be somewhat serious, because with cross-site scripting, you can do anything the victim can do. So you can see right here, they're not encoding this user input well enough that I'm able to very easily trigger cross-site scripting. So that is a finding. Whoops, that's not the screenshot thing I wanted to use. So we'll just say like there is cross-site scripting. It's probably not going to come and play in here, but with cross-site scripting, we could steal cookies, we could steal sessions, we could do phishing attacks, all those kinds of things. But like I said, not going to be here. And you can actually see here, if we inspect this, you can see it's embedding it right there. And so we have cross-site scripting. That would be a good find on an assessment. Or bug bounty. You can get paid good money, decent money. I think the last time I found cross-site scripting on bug bounty, I got $300, $400 maybe. Looking over at chat, make sure I'm not missing anything. Yeah, that's stored cross-site scripting. You're right. So it's stored because you can see it's actually being stored on the page. Reflected cross-site scripting would be like if it was up here in the URL, and then you could use it for like a phishing attack, right? Because it comes from a trusted URL. So if that worked, that would be reflected cross-site scripting. But you are correct in noting, because it's actually being stored on the page, we are looking at stored cross-site scripting there, which makes it more serious. And you can see like it is stored in that way. I still don't get what I'm supposed to be doing with this. Like we have account.php. Like there's all these countries, but we could technically like script this out and see, is there users in these? But even if there's users, what's it going to do for us, right? Like we don't have anything really going on there. If we look at this, we have server status, but that's 403, so we can't hit that. Nicto doesn't have anything interesting for us. So with that being said, let's look at some of these other ports that are open. If we pull up our notes. Oh, we didn't try SQL injection. See, guys, this is what I'm saying. Like, I'll miss things, and I'll think, hey, maybe I should try this. So before we jump off, let's try some very basic SQL injection. And I'll show you. This is going to be an overkill, but let me show you guys SQL map. And let's see if it's actually built into Parrot. I have no idea if it is. Cool. One really easy way to do SQL map is we'll go ahead and turn this on. No, we won't. We won't turn that on yet. We'll hit join now. We'll grab this full response. We'll go ahead and turn off queuing. And we'll cd, let's make a directory. cd to HackTheBox, and we'll make a directory called validation, cd validation, nanopost.txt. And we can do SQL map -r to pass it that, and we can do very basic, quick SQL map on here. And this is going to check all the basic SQL injection type things. Now, we can do this manually by doing like a single quote or backtick, see if we get any like 500 errors. But this is a nice, quick way to test it. Now, this is not allowed, though, on the OSCP. So for those of you studying for the OSCP, you do want to know how to do this manually. Because if you run into SQL injection and you use SQL map, I believe you will disqualify yourself because it's not allowed on the OSCP because it's considered an auto-pwn tool. All right, just getting caught up on chat. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. I don't think so. Okay, cool. So I'm going to say probably not vulnerable to SQL injection, and we'll add that to our notes. No SQL injection is similar. I doubt it's going to be no SQL injection, but just to be good, let's go ahead and double check. I don't even remember all the different payloads for no SQL injection. Let's do. Come on, load. I believe in you, Hacktricks. So this is sort of what it would look like. Let's go ahead and get another request here. Do I have one here? This one still works, right? Maybe there's an admin visiting the page. You could try setting a payload to hit your callback. That's a good point. Although, like, the admin would have to not only visit the page, it'd have to go to the right country. You know what I mean? Because it's only going to trigger if we do... Oh, did it clear it? Oh, look at that, guys. You guys see all that? That is a result of a SQL map. All the different payloads. So I think it's as simple as something like this. Yep, the R was used to read the text file, the post. I doubt it's going to be like SQL or no SQL. There's no password. You know, it's not even authentication bypass because there's no password. Yeah, server-side template injection. Good call, HunterBot, because I wrote that down. That was next. Great minds think alike, my friend. So now let's test server-side template injection, and let's start it very basic. The way we can do that basic, first I'm going to switch to a different country so I don't see all my payloads, is we'll do like 7 times 7, and if it returns 49, that's a good indicator that it might be vulnerable to server-side template injection. And it does not return that. So it's probably not vulnerable. That's always the payload I check for server-side template injection. Let's try a few of these other ones, though, just to make sure we're not missing something here. Nope, okay, that one's not either. Nope. 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 And it's not making like any URL calls, so it wouldn't be SSRF or anything like that. Okay, if you guys have any other ideas, let me know and we can keep testing that page. Otherwise, we'll start to move on. We did get this. So first we'll say, didn't work. We do know stored XXS is possible. So those are the things I jotted down, and at least one of them worked. So my hunch was right on one thing. But I was going to say, if you guys have anything else we should try, let me know. The only thing I ask is please don't look at the official walkthrough or anything like that. I don't want spoilers yet. When I get truly stuck, remember, if I get stuck, we'll look at guided mode. If we're still stuck, we'll look at a walkthrough just until we're no longer stuck. I don't want full spoilers. But I think we've done most of the testing we can do on here. Maybe this will come back into play once we're testing some of this other stuff. Before we move on, let's double check our scans. Dir hasn't found anything else. So let's do nicto-h. Well, there was one before 8080. I like to go in order. 4566. Let's do that one first. Nginx. How far are we? 96. I'm just going to stop that. I'm pretty sure we're not going to find anything there. And we'll just change the syntax here. Nope. What was it? Freaking 4566. Okay, so it's saying the server returns a status code that matches the provided options for non-existing URLs. To continue, please exclude the status code, the length, or use a wildcard switch. So we can do exclude length of 146. There we go. Idor King Glizzy says, what do you think an Idor is at? Generally speaking, Idor is a way for... Idor is, in my opinion, a bad name. It's just broken access control. So you can usually use Idor maybe in a user ID parameter. I always check this on web apps when there's multiple users. Can I see another user's information? I've actually had it in a real client's app where I could use Idor to update another user's email just by changing the user ID. Very classic Idor, but real app. So we do see that in the real world sometimes. I don't see how it could be Idor here because there's no sensitive information. Like, we can log in as administrator. There's no administrator panel that I can see. There's also a chance that, hey, maybe there's some weird directory that's not included in directory list medium. That's a possibility as well. We may end up looking at guided mode. Because if it is something like that, I don't want to just stare at my screen. It's like my phone's pinging me. My phone tells me it's time to stream on Twitch. Well, phone, I'm already here. Maybe you can try to curl the config. I don't think that would work, but sure, let's give it a shot. Yeah, we're not getting anything there. Try like... Yeah, it's 0. It's not, there's nothing. Yeah, Nikto said there's a config, but I don't see where it sees it at. I think it's just like debug HTTP verb. We also didn't research these versions. I know Apache is probably good. I didn't check this. This is an older version of PHP, but it might just be because of when it came out. Let's just drop this down here. So we have that PHP. Let's really quickly check for any vulns that might be in that. Reflected cross-site scripting. PHP 7 with Nginx. So what's this PHP backtrace? Oh, it's like a PHP function. Certain versions of PHP 7 running in Nginx with PHP FPM enabled can be vulnerable to the RCE found there. PHP version 7.1 below 7.13, 7.2. Oh, nope. Okay, I don't think it's the PHP that's going to be vulnerable. And are we finding anything here? No. May have to go to guided mode. What are you saying, Hunter button exposed? Oh, that was a different page. I think it's like that. My syntax may be terrible there. Tell me if I'm wrong. Yeah, I don't think so. Debug. It says something about debug. I've never used a debug header. Oh shoot, that actually did something. But it's just returning to me, from what I can see, the HTML of the page. Zach said, hey Tyler, hope you're doing well. Are you using Windows or Mac? I tried downloading OneNote on my Kali, but it doesn't work. Yeah, dude. OneNote only works on Windows. That's the downside. Like I don't think you were here when I was talking earlier, but I use Ubuntu exclusively for work, and I can't use OneNote at work. I use Cherry Tree. Yeah, no, that's what I was thinking. Jean or Jean. I try using one of the Seclist files. That's what I'm thinking. Like there might be a directory that's not included in the Dirbuster Medium, but I'm not going to like experiment to find out. We'll see that. I'll just switch over to guided mode because I don't want to go on that much of a rabbit hole. I would if I was offline, but when I'm streaming, I don't want to just be fully stuck in that way. But I'm not seeing anything on here. I didn't navigate to it, I guess. Let's see if there's anything there. We just get forbidden. We don't even get like basic authorization. That one gets bad gateway. We have a different error message, guys. That's you know, in IT, that's always improvement. Like if you get a different error message. Oh man. I don't know why I'm tired already. Go Buster 80. First time I'm seeing Kato. Gonna check it out. I like Burp, but it's a bit cumbersome. Yeah, dude. Burp is still the standard, right, in the industry, and I use Burp on my day job, but do like Kato. Here's the cool thing about Kato. I mean, it's really not that amazing, but we have kind of a fork chat GPT built into this. How can I assist with your web application security needs? Sometimes he's a little more happy to help with hacking stuff. See if this works or not. Yeah, see, so like if you ask this to the real chat GPT, I'm almost certain it'll say, sorry, that's unethical. But this forked chat GPT might help a little bit with some of our pen testing type stuff that's built in the Kato. John says, was there anything in the cookies? So the cookies are just MD5 hash of the username. So I thought, hey, if this account actually provides access to something, we could forge a cookie, because it's literally would just take admin, MD5 hash it, and that's the cookie. But it doesn't go anywhere, right? Like there's no authentication, anything there. AZ Cowboy once said, Kato, work with a country field that has no options for freeform entry. So if there's a database behind it, it will throw an error if changed. All right. We can do that. Well, let's remove it here as well and just forward it. That's the one thing I don't like about Kato, and I think it's a feature request. In Burp, when it's a 300 response, which is a redirect, you can click in Burp, follow the redirect. I can't do that in Kato. And it might just be because I'm used to it with Burp, but Yeah, it's just blank. You could do SQL injection there again. We could try. We didn't try server-side template injection on the country name. Let's try that real quick. Whoops. Nope. Finding anything? No. This find anything? No. And hey, maybe there's a port that wasn't running when I tried this. I've had that happen on HackTheBox, that there's like a port that wasn't open when I did my scans. Let's go ahead and let's go to guided mode. So overgrown carrot, I tried SQL map on both of those. So I didn't try my own SQL injection, but SQL map on both of those said, hey, there's not SQL injection here. I think it should have tried both by default. I don't know if I still have that even pulled up. Oh well, let's see what guided mode says. Shouldn't it show the machine I'm on? Here we go. And if you guys haven't seen guided mode, it is really quite cool because it's not a spoiler, but it just helps. So if we switch over to guided mode, TCP ports 4, I think. What scripting language is the website on TCP using? I think we have a typo here. I think it's supposed to be the website. What scripting language is the website on TCP using to dynamically generate pages? I think they mean like this website, right? We're using PHP, right? What is the name of the database or schema name being used by the website? So maybe there is SQL injection. If it's asking us the database name. So maybe my initial hunch was right, and me jumping straight forward to SQL map instead of manually testing it is going to come back to bite me. Come on. I don't have a 500 error. Oh, we have a database error. Okay. So note to self, SQL map is not always king. Sometimes you need to check it manually. So the reason I say this is an interesting thing is we have a fatal error, right? Uncut error, call to a member function, fetch associate on boot, and that, blah, 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 blah. So now I'm curious what I did wrong on SQL map, because SQL map should discover this. Let's go to this. So got a 302 redirect to that. Okay, that's fine. Redirect is a result of a post request. You want to resend original post data to new location. No? Hold up. Let me look at how we're doing this here manually. If we look at Cato here, we're doing a post request to just validation.HackTheBox. Not a post request to account.php. I feel like that's... So you know. It does say username might be vulnerable to cross-site scripting attacks, which we learned. So now it's checking country. Yeah, okay, we're doing good now. So SQL map discovered it there. It must have been something with the cookies, like what Overgrown Carrot was saying. We have SQL injection, though. Overgrown Carrot said also, just FYI, it's using SQL map and looking at cookies who do level 3 or above. So yes, we have parameter country is vulnerable. Do you want to keep testing the others? No. So I think we can do like dump all. Maybe I did something wrong there. Do you want to follow? Yes? No? All right, we're dumping the database now. I wonder how big the database is. It might actually be better to do individual databases and then tables for what might be interesting to us. Running single thread mode, please consider usage of option threads for faster data retrieval. Let's have ChatGPT, if they can, help me with my newbiness. Like that? Okay, I just want to try that. Gosh dang it, I did it wrong. All right, redirect. You want to follow? Yes. No. No. Oh, it already dropped it for me. Registration, is that what it's looking for there? So we have this registration thing. And then how about to dump? We also have a user table MySQL, but I'm guessing it's registration. Okay, so D registration -- tables. Let me throw this to the side just so I can keep that pulled up. Cyber said, dude, the ChatGPT Turbo and Kato is awesome. I agree, dude. Go Kato. Post.text -D registration tables. We have 2 tables. Did we inject that in somehow? We also saw that MySQL table, and there's going to be a users on MySQL, but they're usually hashed. So he says do registration -T registration. Can I just do this? Because I don't know if the table's really called registration. I just do dump that way. The heck? Am I even looking at the right? Am I barking up the right tree, as they say? Okay, I was right on that. So that is the database name. When the website authenticates to SQL database, does that user have the file permission? I don't freaking know. When the website authenticates to the SQL database, does... Unless, guys, unless my SQL injections broke the table, it almost looked like it wrote into it. I feel like we need to dump better stuff than this. So if I do... You guys see this? Did I break the database? That's what Tiberius told me not to do. Because I'm pretty sure this isn't what the database is supposed to look like. You guys see that? I feel like I overwrote the database on accident. Protagonist said, dump the table using the full command. Which table are you thinking? You guys see this? I don't think it's supposed to do this. I feel like my initial SQL map check destroyed the database, which, okay, Tiberius has an entire machine about this. But he did say SQL map on its own isn't destructive unless you up the level. And I didn't up the level, so I thought I'd be safe. But Tiberius has a machine on TryHackMe called Lesson Learn that when you do the wrong SQL statement, it breaks the table and you have to revert the box, which apparently I just did that on accident. So that's impressive. Let's go ahead and reset our machine. I'm the only player, so I shouldn't have any issues doing that. Have to wait for the players to vote. Well, this, I think, is a good time for a 5-minute break. Don't you guys think? We'll give the machine a good 5 minutes for it to boot back up. And I will step away from my computer for a little bit. I might have to... You guys might hear beeping, though, if I do it now. Let's wait for this to reset, and then I'll do the 5-minute break. Because right now, there's beeping coming through the dang computer. And I don't want you guys to have to listen to beeping. So in the meantime, let me check out chat. Make sure I'm not missing anything. HunterBot said you could just try to add a file. Ooh, that's a good point. We'll do that when we come back after the machine resets. Well, first, I just want to try to dump it this way. And then we'll try to add a file and maybe see if we can get like a PHP reverse shell by injecting it into that via SQL. That's actually really a good idea, HunterBot. I think I did that in HackTheBox Academy on their SQL injection stuff. Okay, machine will be reset, guys. Let's go ahead and take a 5-minute break. I've been streaming for an hour and 15 minutes, so I think a 5-minute break is called for. So, guys, be right back in 5 minutes. Oh, wrong stream. Let's go to break. Now I'll be back in 5 minutes. And we are back. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to our broken machine that we managed to break. Do you want to answer a couple of the questions in chat as we dive into things? One of the questions a few people have asked is, what if you do this to a real client? First, you don't, right? If I think I found SQL injection when I'm doing a web app pen test, all I'm going to do is confirm it. And the way I'm going to confirm it is with like a single quote and see if I can get an error message, usually a 500 error. And if I think, hey, there might be SQL injection, usually the most I will do is sleep. I'll see if I can get the response to sleep for 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 20 seconds, just to confirm and verify there is SQL injection, but I don't go further because I don't want this to happen. And if I'm doing a pen test, it's not a red team. This is where pen test and red team is different. Red team, you're trying to be stealthy, you're trying to compromise the whole organization. On a web app pen test, really what I'm trying to do is just say, hey, is it vulnerable? And if so, I want to let the client know. And so on a web app pen test, I'm using very non-intrusive payloads, such as a single quote and then sleep. I'm not trying to dump databases. I'm not trying to get RCE. I just want to see, is it there? And can I confirm it for the client? Hopefully that helps answer that question. We'll be curious for the others of you how you approach that, but that's my personal approach to that. Getting all the streams pulled up. We have like 40 people watching, guys, between the 3 different platforms. So that's really exciting, between YouTube, LinkedIn, and Twitch, without having to pay Restream. So that's the best part of that. Let me go ahead and share my screen, and let's grab our, I think the IPs on HackTheBox stay the same. Is it validation.hackthebox? Okay. So the first thing I'm curious about, what if I just do this right away? Okay, so look at that, guys. Here we have recognize passwords in column hash pass. Do you want to store hashes to a temporary file for eventual further processing? Yes. So we start our hashes. Do you want to crack them via dictionary-based attack? Yes. Let's just do our default one. That's fine. No. So we have MD5 hash passwords. Just test. And I haven't done a test here. So we have an interesting user hash here. But it didn't say there was more than that hash. Let's see what is here. No, okay, so we really just have a test hash. There's no login screen. I'm quite certain the SSH password is not going to be test. If that worked, I would just be blown away. Okay. So the other hint, and I'm thinking along HunterBot's thoughts. In guided mode, look at this question. When the website authenticates to the SQL database, does that user have the file permission? I kind of skipped over this too quickly. I asked ChatGPT, the forked version of it, what the file permission is. In SQL databases, file permissions are used to control access to the database files on the file system level. Access to SQL database data files, log files, and backup files are typically controlled by file permissions, which are enforced by the operating system. On Windows, file permissions are controlled by the Windows NTFS permissions, which are set. On Linux, they're controlled, which are set on. Okay. I think we might be able to like write to a shell, right? If the, okay, let's just say this. Here's our scenario. Imagine the web server is vulnerable to SQL injection. If the web server's user that interacts with the back SQL database has file permissions, could an attacker use that to write a web shell? The attacker could craft a SQL injection payload that writes the web shell to a writable location in the file system, and then executes the shell to gain access to the server. Okay. I think that might be the way to do it, right? Now, my manual SQL injection is not very good. Actually, to be honest, it's trash. So we're going to struggle through this together. I knew it just enough for the OSCP, which isn't much. So if we do join now, and here we are essentially closing out that statement. Can I ask if SQL map can do that. HunterBot, dude, work smarter, not harder. Thank you, dude. Always like to be a script kiddie when I can. So we could first, let's just test this, all right? And here's what I mean by test it. CD HackTheBox, CD validation, echo. Okay, we got that. Python 3. First, what's our IP again? Sudo. Just want to see if I can get a callback on here just to see if it's actually working. Okay. Let's tell our friendly chat GPT. Well, I might have to actually read the docs here. The command option for executing operating system commands is not supported in SQL map. Instead, you can use OS shell to spawn an OS shell and then execute arbitrary commands. Oh, really? Just straight to a shell? Let's see if he's telling the truth or not. We know it's PHP. Dang it. So it retrieved the web server document path, tried to upload the file stager. Unable to upload the stager, trying to upload the file stager there. Expect junk characters are the files left over. It looks like the file has not been written. Unable to upload the file stager. You know, let's just try that again. Maybe something just went wrong. We got a 302 redirect to that. Do you want to follow? Yeah. No. Just looking at what it's trying to do here. You provide a HTTP cookie header. Do you want to merge them? No. Dang it. Tell me if you guys have any ideas. If I merge the cookies, does that make a difference? It seems to be pointing to this because it asks us if it has file permissions. SQL map PHP web shell upload. Let's just check this out. So find a SQL injection point. We did that. SQL map, blah, blah. Okay, we have all that down. So we could do this. We could check our privileges. Okay, so we can see our privileges. We have a lot of privileges. UHC, is that who we are? Can you get it to run execute XP command? No, that wouldn't work because it's a Linux machine, not Windows. I think the user must be this UCL or ULC. UHC. $100. I forgot the syntax, but it's something like load Etsy password. Okay. File read option. Oh, did it actually download it? Okay. How come I don't see that other user? What permissions are we reading if we go to... No data retrieved. Shoot for the moon. So it claims it received Etsy password though, eh? Oh, good call, HunterBot. You're right. Hey, I think we read it. Beautiful, guys. All right, we need to record this for my notes before we get too excited. So there was that hint. That weird config that Nikto found actually was a hint for us. So there's my syntax, and because the downside of OneNote is it can't do code highlighting like Cherry Tree can, I do ghetto code highlighting with tables. There's a little fly flying around my computer. I'm not just clapping for myself. Okay, so we have a username and a password and a database of registration. I don't really know who this user is, though, because I didn't see him in Etsy password. And MySQL is not exposed to the internet. It's only exposed through here. Once we get on the machine, I'm just going to try to see if there's credential reuse. So let's see if... Whoops, did not mean to do that. Okay, so we have this user. We have their password, and we have the database name. But what does that actually do for us if we cannot... I mean, UHC isn't a real user. I tried to SSH, it didn't work. And we can't SSH because he's not a real user. It must be a Docker or something container. We have root. We don't have any users with even a login shell besides root. Try database passes root pass. Yeah, Hail Mary. Let's see what happens. Screw it. If that worked, I would laugh. Nope. And there was no other login screen that I noticed. And I don't think HackTheBox is going to be much help because I think the next hint is just like submit the flag locating the... Oh, no, I need to answer this question. Oh, there is more hints. Okay. Let's see. Let's turn off intercept. When the website authenticates, does that user have the file permission? I think they did. What user is the website running on as on validation? Is it UHC? No. What freaking user is it? Okay. Did I even see that in Etsy password? Oh, yeah, it is. Okay. So we know it's running as www.data. So when we execute commands, that's who it's coming through. I feel like we should be able to upload a shell. Change the DHC. It says global in it. A www.data isn't going to be able to SSH. He doesn't have a login shell. What was HackTheBox hint? Oh yeah, okay, so look, it is write a web shell. I didn't realize there was hints. What's this hint say? Oh, let's check out these other hints. Second order, so that means like the country. I'm telling you guys, guided mode's really cool. It really helps you not be so overwhelmed. And it also stops you from like immediately looking at a walkthrough. You still have to kind of think through stuff, but it helps you along the way. So we can get a web shell, and that was what I was initially trying to do. For some reason, SQL Map couldn't do it. I do want to see. SQL Map allows users to upload web backdoors. This is kind of what I want to do. So if I do like, okay, I think we're going to have to do it manually. Oh wait, upload our web shell. File right. What was he doing up here? What up, DJ Dad Jeans? Now file right is the absolute path. I don't get why he's doing it in 2 steps here. They send it to the product port. Protagonist on YouTube said, "Are you sending the request to the wrong page?" They send it to the product search. What do you mean? Oh, this isn't the machine. This isn't the same machine we're doing. Looking to get into... I'm already a pen tester, my friend. So no, I'm not looking to get into pen testing. Just doing this for fun. I'd have to imagine we can do this with SQL Map. But maybe not. Maybe I do have to manually do it. Last try. What's it pay like on the red side these days? Yeah, I mean, I think it really depends where you're at. I'm just a lowly associate pen tester, so I'm basically just a noob script kiddie type guy. But for an associate pen tester, you're looking at anywhere from about $70,000 a year to about $100,000 a year. After a couple years of experience, usually you're looking at 100 to 120, 130, then it goes up from there. So for a newbie like me, that's kind of what you're looking at pay range between 70 and 100,000. I believe is pretty accurate across the board. Can you add a user with login and root to Etsy password? I have no idea, dude. It's a good question. We have to upload a web shell, though. Okay? So we're going to do... let's ask Kato. Do your streams not save? Yeah, they're saved to YouTube. If you want to see all my past streams, go to YouTube. Have I thought about going to the dark side and getting compliance? Nope. I took a pay cut to be a pen tester. I was on the blue team side of things. And I had basically an offer to make $130,000 a year as a senior analyst. And I took a pretty massive pay cut to pen test because it's more fun. So I honestly, money's just money. Money is not that important. If I can pay my bills, that's all I care about. And I can pay my bills. And I don't work evenings. I don't work weekends. I'm streaming now just for fun. My place I work is awesome. And I get to hang out with my kids, and I work completely from home. So I got the dream job. I could care less about more money. More money, more problems. That's what the great philosopher B.I.G. said. Okay, let's just try this. Oh, whoops, I didn't mean to do it that way. So let's back up. We'll see if that worked. Yeah, so DJ Dad Jeans, first your name's awesome. So dude, like for the first 10 years of my career, I was in pastoral ministry. So on call 24/7, have a master's in that world. And it was intense. It was stressful. I mean, I sat down with people during the darkest moments of their lives, like I did a funeral for a family whose mom committed suicide. So dark stuff, and doing all that stuff that was really dark, really emotionally difficult. I was making $30,000 a year with no benefits. So going into IT, it's insane how much more money you make in IT compared to that. My first job was IT support, and I was making like under $50,000 a year, but it was good. I live the same way now as I lived when I made $30,000 a year as a pastor. Because at the end of the day, once again, money doesn't matter. It matters enough that you can pay your bills, but once you can pay your bills, give it away. Like, why need more money? All right. What was I doing? Oh, checking this. So let's see if test.txt exists now. Yeah, Cyber Dude, I was a pastor, bro. For 10 years, I actually planted a church. I was a church planner. Still preach occasionally at different places. Faith is still a huge part of my life. Way more important to me than hacking. Test.txt did not work. That was the directory though, right? Dude, that sucks. I'm sorry to hear that, DJ Dad Genius. Yeah, that's the downside of churches, man. I mean, I was the only paid employee, but same. I didn't have any unemployment. I had no insurance. So like all my health insurance, I had to pay out of pocket for me and my family. Like people always talk about pastors being overpaid, but that's because I see, the couple of pastors on TV who make millions of dollars and are ripping people off. The vast majority of pastors are severely underpaid. Search a payload to inject some PHP and CountryDB and cookie. I mean, so this is the payload. I'm just not quite sure how to do it. I'm talking too much on this stuff, so I'm not focused. Yeah, Zach, dude, that's crazy. Small world, bro. DM me. Would love to talk to you. Help if I can. I just recently switched over to IT, so I switched over to IT in 2020. My first IT job was IT support level 1, and then grinded out certs, got a degree, got my OSCP about a year ago. So I was in IT for about a year and a half, got my OSCP, and in about 2 years landed a role as a pen tester. The biggest thing that I think pastors have that allows them to get ahead is our ability to communicate, right? I preached every single weekend, and I was up front talking in front of people. So when I pivoted over to IT, just the ability to communicate and talk to people already puts you ahead of a lot of people in IT who are just like, very socially awkward. So if you can talk well and teach and transition that over to IT, it really is a superpower. Even if you can't figure out how to do freaking SQL injection. Oh my goodness. What am I doing wrong? HunterBot? Tell me what I'm doing wrong, dude. Making sure I'm not missing chat on LinkedIn. I like private jets. How can I get one? I have no idea, dude. I never got my private jet. Bro, I still drive I still drive a 2002 Volvo, and I don't even know how many miles are on it because, you know, the odometer that tells you how many miles, it just doesn't work. It has over 200,000 miles. That's what I know. Things falling apart. I've been driving it since I was a pastor. I got it for $500, but that's still my car. 2002 Volvo. Guys, I'm getting tired. And now I'm talking too much, so it distracts me from what I'm trying to do. How the heck do I write this? Oh, good call, HunterBot. There is an Nginx. Both 8080 and 4566 are Nginx. Let's check if it's being written there. Four, five, six, six. No. Guys, I might have to look at a walkthrough for this to see what we're missing. Yeah, dude, and don't apologize for disturbing me, dude. This is the purpose of these streams. It's just to hang out. I don't actually have a big objective. But yeah, I've been streaming for a long time. So on YouTube, I have like 180 different videos of things like this, working through machines. So I've been streaming for a minute. And about every Wednesday around this time, I stream for a couple of hours and just share what I'm learning as I work my way through it. So yeah, anytime you're here, dude, pop in, say hi. We have a Discord server as well. I don't have Discord pulled up, so I can't drop it in the chat, but maybe someone on Twitch can drop our Discord server. We host weekly meetings on Mondays to help people break into IT and grow in their careers. So yeah, I'm always here. I do have a wife, 2 young kids, so that's who I'm usually hanging out with. But on Wednesday nights, as soon as I get my kids down to bed, read stories, do all that stuff, then I'm usually on stream. So it's different depending on the night, because anyone who has young kids, my daughter turns 7 tomorrow, which is crazy, but a 7-year-old and 4-year-old, so you never know how bedtime's gonna go. It's always a fun time to see what's gonna happen. Do you have a OneNote template, Yerzy? Nope, no OneNote template. You might be. I don't know how old you are, DJ Dad Jeans. I'm 30. That's how old I am. 44. Yeah, a little bit older. Okay, guys, Okay, we're going to look. I'm fully stuck here, and I guarantee you I am missing something obvious. Try curl your test. I don't think that would make a difference. I'll do it though. Yeah. Let's look at the official walkthrough just up until that point that we're no longer stuck. Okay, don't look. Okay. You can look now. Let's see if we miss anything. If we press join now, yeah, we did that. The page will send a cookie back called user and direct us to account.php. Yep. So I always like to count my wins. And one of my wins is the fact that I did this. If you guys remember when I was first testing this, I changed the user and I was like, does it give me a new cookie? And it doesn't. And then I was like, okay, what I think is an MD5 hash, then I confirmed it. So I did all this right on my own. I'm counting that as my wins. Our theory is confirmed as it matches the returned cookies. And yeah, we have SQL injection. If we change the payload, the error message goes away, confirming is indeed SQL injection. Easiest way to exploit this is to open 2 repeater tabs in Burp Suite. One for registering accounts and the other for viewing the account page. Oh, so this is what it means by second order SQL injection. Okay, we're going to follow this. So if you go to the registration page, change the username and get a different cookie, place a SQL injection payload in the country parameter, and then register. Copy the cookie and paste it into the second tab, and then register. By sending the country Brazil Union Select, we see the page no longer displays an error, which tells us the SQL is only returning 1 column. Oh wow, this is beyond the SQL injection I work with, because I don't usually work with SQL injection, let's be real. Knowing that we can perform a union injection and that this is a PHP application, we can attempt to use the into-out file statement of SQL to drop a web shell. How was I trying to do it? I was trying to do that. This is how I had it originally. So select. Oh, I don't have union select. Is that my issue? I don't think you need PHP. .text will work. I'll prove it if it allows me to. And you have to visit the account page after submitting the payload, since the query will not actually trigger until you try loading the page, hence SQL injection of the second order. So it's almost like cross-site scripting SQL injection is how I picture it, because cross-site scripting, you have to go to the page as well. So I see. So that's why it's saying second order, because when we do this, we have to go to the page with this cookie so that it loads this. Or just like, I guess, do it in the first intercept and just follow it. Wow. Okay. Learn something new. And this is what I'm talking about, guys. That's a win. The win is learning something new, but I also just want to point out this is an easy machine on HackTheBox. So HackTheBox has a tendency to give you imposter syndrome until you just like become comfortable with the fact that yes, I'm an imposter, but hey, I'm here, and that's what matters. The true imposters aren't trying to learn and aren't trying to improve themselves and aren't stumbling around on live stream. So I got over my ego a long time ago by always making mistakes, looking dumb, but learning through the process. I just want to see if .text will work. So if I do this, maybe the imposters are the friends we made along the way. Heck yeah, dude. Oh, shoot. Maybe that doesn't work. So maybe we do have to be PHP. You might, who was that? Who was that? Gustavasolo? You might be right, my friend. Let's try it this way now. We got a shell. HunterBot said, yeah, second order SQL injection is not even taught in their CPTS course, which they consider an intermediate pen testing course. Yeah, dude, HackTheBox is tough, but this really helped me with my mindset is this process. First, do an easy machine because you still learn. I've done a few medium machines, but they're very, very difficult. I can do try hack me medium machines without any walkthroughs. or any help, but HackTheBox is just another level. But HackTheBox is very realistic. And if you get over the mindset that you have to solve this on your own or else you fail, then that helps you get over the frustration. You get stuck, that's fine. Look at the guided mode. Hey, still stuck? Look at the walkthrough till you're no longer stuck, right? We're going to close the walkthrough now. But don't get frustrated, right? The goal is to learn. I only get frustrated when I'm doing a machine that is very CTF-y. I had this issue on one of the Try Hack Me machines recently where I lost my mind and I rage quit because it was some weird like freaking decryption crap. I don't like those kind of machines just because they're not realistic. Yeah, you don't have to download any VMs from HackTheBox. You might be thinking of VulnHub. HackTheBox, everything's fully hosted. I mean, I'm using my VM right now, but you don't even have to like set up your own VM. They have a pwn box in the cloud you can use to do HackTheBox. So we are www.data. From here, we can do, we should be able to do like a netcat shell. Oh, there isn't netcat. We have bin/bash, so let's do, actually, let's just see if we can get command injection. Let's just confirm that. One way we can confirm that, do I still have this web server running? I do. So if we do, oh, maybe we don't have W yet. No. Okay, well, let's just get a shell. We might have to do character, let's see. Save character shell or whatever. I'm not sure what would have to. What we might, what might not like is characters. So it might do like a base 64 encoded shell and then decode it, something along those lines. But I guess at first we can try something simple like this. Well, can we just do ls/home? We have HackTheBox. We have user.txt. Well, let's just get that so we have a win here, even without getting a shell. Hey, we got user.txt. I want to at least get something before I get too tired. Pull up OneNote. Eventually got a shell. I should probably include the payload I used to get that shell. I didn't record it though. Oh well. Might just have to check the walkthrough. 2 hours of streaming now. I'm getting tired. But let's see if we can complete this machine or at least get far. Maybe once I get a shell, we'll take a break because that's kind of a good natural stopping point. And then we can do enumeration and privilege escalation next. But let's see if we can get a shell. Let's try this first. I think we'll add the pluses and stuff for us. 10.10.14.7. 1337 because we're elite hackers. Set up a listener. Nope. Symbol safe shell. Here's what I'm thinking. So if we take this, no hope. I don't think it's supposed to say that. Hey, just want to point out, guys, Kato's been working pretty well for us this whole time. This is a pretty fresh instance of Kato. I haven't done much customization at all and haven't had any issues either. So if we do this, then we're... Oh, what am I doing? Oh no, that's right. So then this would be our shell. Right, but we need to fill it in with our stuff. So that's what our shell would look like. I also want to just grab it with Kato so it's easier to repeat it in case we need to make some adjustments to encoding or something. So let's just make sure our shell's working. There we go. Take that over to replay. So we probably need to encode some of this, and we have a workflow feature I don't have set up yet, but it's very easy to do. We have convert up here, and we will URL encode it. And what we do is we just connect these. URL encode. Okay, we URL encoded it. And we have a shell. You guys see that? There's my shell.txt. There's that account.php. So there is our shell. We just had to take that character safe one, URL encode it, and then we have a full shell, cd home, ls. We have this HackTheBox user. Can I... can't touch. So I'm guessing the way forward is we have to first get the HackTheBox user. We have to take him over. And once we do that, then we're able to do else. I wonder if we have password reuse. That's one thing I do want to check. Now that we know that we have this user. I don't know why they didn't show up here. Oh no, this is owned by root though. Is this just where they put the user flag and we have to privesc from www.data to root? Now I'm curious. We're in a Docker container, aren't we? So we might have to escape Docker first. Yeah, we're in a Docker container, so we need to escape Docker. Okay, hold up. Maybe, let me see if I can escape Docker. We might have to elevate our privileges, then escape Docker. Just check some common areas. How long have we been going, guys? Now, guys, 2 hours and 8 minutes. I'm gonna fall asleep on stream. The script could do this. Okay, that didn't work. I want to know the web folder as well. Sometimes there's going to be stuff here. I mean, we have this config.php, which is, oh, why don't we connect to SQL? I might have to stabilize my shell better. Where's, there we go. Why don't you work, bruh? You were just working for me, dog. Let's. Oh, did I lose my shell for some reason? Like it got deleted? It must be running a cleanup job to delete the shells. So then you have to redo the process to get back into the machine. Okay, well, with that in mind, I do think this is a good stopping point. 2 hours and 11 minutes in, we're able to get user.txt and land a shell. I think what we need to do for privilege escalation, which maybe not, now that I'm thinking of it, I don't know. In my mind, we might need to explore the SQL database further manually, like log in, stabilize our shell with Python 3, and then connect to the MySQL database and see what's going on there, but maybe not. I just see that it's there. Oh, use the database password for AZ Cowboy 1. Are you talking about the HackTheBox user? So it is just password use on the HackTheBox user. Can he SSH? Okay, so you just have to switch user. I got you. Well, I'm not going to go through the process now. I'll go through it again on the next stream when we do privilege escalation, but I'll keep that in mind. But good to know. So that's what we'll have to do. We'll switch over to HackTheBox user, and then from HackTheBox user, we'll enumerate, elevate our privileges to get root, and it looks like we might have to escape Docker. And then once we escape Docker, we'll probably get... Well, once we get root in the Docker container, we might be able to mount the actual file system of the real file system and then have root access that way. That's how it works in my head, but no idea. Looking at questions. Dude, nice, rolled up. That's awesome, dude. I got King of the Hill. I used to play that all the time. There was one time I got King with multiple people playing. Like, I have the King badge on Try Hack Me. It felt amazing. Maybe we should do that on stream sometime. Just like pull up a King of the Hill game. We can all go at it. The only downside of Try Hack Me King of the Hill is in the rules they say they rotate the boxes, but they don't actually rotate them. It's the same boxes now as it was like 2 years ago when I did it. So a lot of people have like auto pwn scripts that get the machine and then it's game over, right? They already have King. So it's fun playing with people you know who aren't cheating, because then it's a fair game. DJ Dagine says, do you start a new box at the beginning of every Wednesday stream, or do you continue from where you were the previous week? Yeah, continue where I'm at, and we'll finish off this box next Wednesday. And the full recording of this you can find on my YouTube page, and I will drop that in the Twitch chat real quick. YouTube is where all my other content is. Like I said, like over 180 videos, I think now. And because I'm streaming this live on YouTube, you won't see it in my video tab. You have to click the live tab, but then you'll be able to see this full live stream to rewatch it. And then next week, when we jump back in, next week is Thanksgiving. So I don't know if I'll be live on Wednesday night, but I took all of next week off from work, and my son's in preschool Mondays and Tuesdays, and my daughter's in school. So I might stream Mondays and Tuesday mornings because I don't have to work, but I'm here. So I might jump on and we'll finish this machine. Honestly, heck, maybe I'll stream tomorrow night. I don't know. I try to stream Wednesdays for sure, but I'm often on stream other days as well, just when it hits me and I want to hack some stuff. So we'll finish this machine within the next few days. I'll jump back on here and we will knock it out. We'll SU, like AZ Cowboy 1 said, work on privilege escalation, and pwn this machine. But hey guys, really do appreciate you taking the time to hang out with me. Whether you were here the entire stream or you just jumped on to see what was going on, truly is an honor for you to take the time to hang out and learn some stuff with me. So guys, thank you again for being here. I will catch you guys in the next one. See ya.